Hello everyone. I'll explain the solutions of HackerEarth Java Abstract and Interface February 19/5/2020. Let me explain the first question. After working out abstraction during the day, you get on to a music shop to purchase a keyboard for your phone. You look at all the different kinds of instruments and just tap on a few of them to produce various sounds. Suddenly your inner thought says all our instruments and have a play method that produces different sounds, but without telling the instrument name, we cannot do much with the play method. So perfect examples of an abstraction. Let me show you the number of classes that whatever we need to create. Create an abstract class called instrument and include an abstract method play with an arguments of type string and the return type as string. Create a child class electric guitar and electronic keyboard which extends the class instrument. Use appropriate getters and setters for the above mentioned classes. Create a driver class named main which creates an instance of the above mentioned classes. If some other instrument is selected, then display the message as instrument type not in the given list. For example, this is the sample input. If the user types electric guitar, the related music or else the related content that should gets displayed in a screen. This is also applicable for the another input electronic keyboard. Let me show you the code. I have created an abstract class called instrument. If a class contains an abstract method, then definitely the class needs to be an abstract class. Instrument is a class which contains abstract method called a play. So this instrument class is treated as an abstract class. Whenever you create an abstract method, it should be only the declaration part inside your abstract class. You should not define it. The only defining part is completely taken care of by the derived classes. Consider in line number 9, class electric guitar extends instrument. Here I have overridden the play method, play string, public string play is a method name along with the argument. If name dot equals of electric guitar, then this should be the result. Just simply I'm going to return the result. In electric guitar, I just simply define the play method. Similarly, there is another class called electronic keyboard that extends instrument with the play method. Name dot equals of electronic keyboard, then this should be the result and it should return it. If none of the above, just simply instrument type is not in the given list. That's it. In the main method, I have used a scanner class to get input from the user. Then whatever the data which is entered by the user is stored in the instrument name. Then after that, I have created an object for the instrument, which means electric guitar and electronic keyboard. So instrument is a abstract class. We cannot create an object for the abstract class. So instrument, but we can create a reference for the abstract class. So instrument, then the reference equal to new electric guitar. Similarly, instrument reference equal to new electronic keyboard. Here, instrument name dot equals of electric guitar. The related play method should get executed. Else, another instrument of the play method gets executed. Let me show you the code. Let me run the code or run the code. For example, just simply I'm going to choose electric guitar. if I'm not going to type these two keyboard, it just simply displays insufficient, instrument type is not in the given list. Let me explain the second question. When working on overriding concept, we implemented a method for updating balance in the customer accounts. But we did not write any implementation for the account class as we cannot determine any logic until we knew the type of an account. In most cases, the situation often comes up where we would want the method to be present as a part of the inheritance hierarchy, but we cannot determine its implementation in the parent class. So this would land up in a bigger issue if anybody tries to create an object of the parent class and invokes the method. Consider abstract class to the rescue. Any method for which implementation is unknown can be marked as an abstract method. When we create an abstract method, just simply we can represent it in a declaration part. The derived classes are going to define those abstract methods. If a method is prefixed with a keyword called abstract, then the method is an abstract method. If any method in the class is marked abstract, then the class as well as is marked as abstract. Moreover, objects cannot be created for the abstract class, thus addressing the above issue. But we can create a reference for the abstract classes. Let's try it out. We need a method to calculate service tax on every transaction. To keep things simple, let's assume it's 10% for savings and 20% for checking and 5% for demand. Make the method abstract in the account class and override in the child classes. Consider there is a abstract class called account with the three private attributes: account number, balance, and holder name. Then the related methods display, then calculate service task. This is the abstract method with an arguments of int and the return type is as double. Create a class called checking account which extends the class account, and create a class savings account which extends the class account. Then create a class demat account which extends the class account. Use appropriate getters and setters for the above classes. At last, create a driver classes named main which creates an instance for the above mentioned classes. Service tax must be calculated separately for all the base classes. This is the menu. If the user chooses 1, it should completely goes to the checking account. If the user represents 2, it means that savings account. If the user represents 3, it means that demat account. And this is the sample input. If the user clicks 1, then you need to get input from the user as account name, then account number, then balance. Then 200 is a withdrawal amount. For this checking account, there will be 20% charge. So 500 minus 200, 550 minus 200, so 350. Then if we want to transfer the money from one account to another account, so 20% out of 200 is 40 rupees. So 550 minus 200, 350, then 350 minus 40 is a service charge, so 310. So transfer completed successfully. Holder name Jimmy Sharma, account number 23845596HA. The remaining balance is 310. If the user clicks 2, it is completely for savings account, and Joseph is a account holder name, then the account number 567194KL, then 461.50 is an available balance. Then I am going to withdraw an amount of rupees 450. When I use this statement, no sufficient balance in the account, because the reason available balance is almost 461.50, but I am going to withdraw the amount is 450. Here, what about the service charge? When I use the savings account to 10% service charge, 10%. When I withdraw 450, that represents in a 10% 45 rupees. So 461.50 minus 450, remaining only 11.50 is there. That I cannot subtract into 45 rupees. So definitely just simply it shows no sufficient balance in your account. If user clicks some other input type, just simply invalid account type. It should get displayed. Let me show you the code. I have created an abstract class called account, then the private attributes account number, balance, holder name, followed by the getters and setters method. Getters and setters method. Then I have created an abstract method in an abstract class called account. It is like a template. Whoever wants to access those method, just simply they can access it with their own definition or else own implementation code. That is the concept of an abstraction. Then I have created a class called a savings account that extends an account class. It just simply I made with a small logic for the savings account. So the return amount into 10 divided by 100 for representing the 10% service tax. For the checking account, 20% is the service tax. And for demat account, 5% is the service tax. Then I have created another main class called account main, which contains a main method. And I have used buffer reader along with the input stream reader to get input from the user, savings account, then checking account, then the demat account. These are the three reference which refers the specific objects which is related to savings account or checking account or demat account. Then just simply I have used switch cases based on the user choice. If the user types 1, I'm going to get the input from the user like a name, account number, then balance, then the amount. Just simply the enter data, the data which is entered by the user, just simply I'm going to store into the corresponding objects with the help of the setter method. At last, when I make this a print in a system.println, that is checking account is a reference which refers the checking account object. So checking account dot get balance minus user entered amount. Then minus checking account dot calculate service tax of amount. When you use this method, immediately the method gets executed. Checking account. Then the resulted data gets subtracted with the remaining amount. Similarly for savings account. And the same concept is applicable for demat account also. So when I run this code, if I take 1, it represents for checking account. Just simply I'm going to type Jimmy Sharma and then the account number 23845 596 HB. Then available amount, then extra amount. Then your remaining balance is rupees 310. Then if a user chooses for then Joseph, the account number 567 194 KL, then available amount is 461.50. Then total amount is 450. So no sufficient balance in your account. Then I'm just going to type 5 to completely invalid account type. Thank you.